even know if I can be heard. Okay. Testing audios and everything else. A little louder. Me a little louder? Or like, okay. Or you mean the game? Everything else is pretty much up there. Me, which you say yes, but to which one? Just or you mean just everything? You literally could mean anything, honey. Both, just a little, okay. Is this a little better? Let me know if this is a little better. Also, it's just like highlighting the stream a bit on my Twitter, so let me get that all together. Does this sound better? And I'm recording, okay. Chat box isn't popping up either. That's something that's just gonna be a thing. Okay, I think this is a little bit better. I hope it is. See, now I'm nervous, so I'm gonna turn this down just a tad bit, because never sure. Never too sure, I guess. Okay. Are you talking right now? I am now. I hope I can be heard now, because I wasn't talking before. If it speak for us, yes. Can my mic be heard? Hold up. I hope it can, because if it can't, that would be very... Yeah, I can hear you. You're good. Okay. Okay, we're good then. Okay. So, this is a really cute game that I saw on TikTok. Shouting out TikTok here. And it is by... I really hope I am pronouncing her name right. It is by S. Morishita Studios. They also have a webtoon called... Well, the whole thing is Catch Me, Fight Me, Love Me, but I don't know if it's just a short for Love Me, but I think that's it, and I am going to be streaming it. I'm really, really excited because it looks really cute. I hope everything can be heard. Okay. Oh, I love that there's music. Oh my god. Okay, that makes me feel 10 times better than I already do. I'm not too sure about this, Mom. Alako, please. If we want this to work, then we need your full support. You know how difficult your sister can be. I guess I'm the sister. I guess I'm the one that's difficult. Turning over in my bed, I could hear the hushed whispers of my mother and my sister just outside my bedroom, and the noise of some rowdy teenagers from outside. Why are there people around me? With my diary still in my hand, I must have fallen asleep while reading through some old sad entries and writing in new ones. With the Octoberfest Festival coming up, you could almost feel the excitement and anticipation in the air. Unfortunately for me, all I felt was stress and agitation. My mother has heard a lot of stupid gossip and rumors about how if you don't find a mate by your 23rd birthday, you'll end up alone forever. Well, I'm 24 now, and I will be turning 25 this following spring. Yay me. But Mom, that guy is such a stink bag. Isn't there someone else she could set her up with? Language, Missy. We must be trolls, but I didn't work my fingers to the bones to raise such foul mouth. With a sigh, I closed my diary and scooted off my bed. I could hear my mother lecturing my sister about how hard she worked as a single parent, only wanting the best for her girls, and so on and so forth. Opening the door, I glanced over at my sister. Her lips were pressed into a tight line, a look of disdain on her face as our mother continued on about all the different relationships she had in her younger years and the importance of saving yourself for marriage. Oh my god, the characters look so cute! Mama, please stop. This is extremely disturbing and gross. The characters look so cute. I do not know how to pronounce her name. I really don't want to mess it up either. Oh, good morning, dear. I heard my sister let out a sigh of relief as her wrinkled bones relaxed now that Mom has turned her attention to me. Thank God. As I made my way to the living room, I could hear the noise of the group of kids from outside grow louder. Do they have no respect for a troll's personal property? Looking annoyed over at my sister, I motioned her to go to do something about them, and with a nod, she walked toward the window. You'll never guess who I ran into today. The energetic sound in my mother's voice made my stomach knot. I could feel my chest tighten and a slight headache start to throb at my temples. I love my mother, but she has the absolute worst taste when it comes to picking out men, and whatever I tried to stop her, she throws a big fit, and I really didn't want to go through this today. I wanted to hurry up and get this over with so I could get to the shop and try out this new pastry I made for a special occasion. Do I really have to guess? You can go ahead and just tell me. It's one of the neighboring clan's eldest sons. I just so happened to run into his mother while at the shop, and when I offered her one of those treats you made, she was blown away by the flavor and delicate texture. Tilting her head back, she let out a triumph laugh, but I wasn't amused at all when I heard she gave away one of my snacks. She never expected to find such a high-end delicacy at our little pastry stand. That's why you should never underestimate. Wait, did you give her the blue one or the pink one? A small crease showed in between her eyebrows as she thought. The pink one, I thought. Why? Great. With another heavy sigh, I plopped down on the couch, feeling a little bit more dejected today than usual. It really didn't help that the bunch of rowdy kids outside were getting louder. With an annoyed look, I peered over at my sister to see she was going to tell them to leave, but I saw her gaze was locked on one of the boys, who was now topless and laughing loudly. To be young and stupid. What was that? What was it that you wanted to show me? Tanaka scared me. Oh my god. Hey, RPG, thank you for the follow. I forgot I had those set up like that. That literally scared me. But thank you. Here, take a look at this. You and my leg a swap to scoot close to her. She sat down beside me and shoved the picture in my face. Doesn't he look so charming? After taking a quick glance at the picture, I grunted no and laid my head down in her lap. What's wrong with you? You obviously have no taste in men. Mom, the man looks like he's 15 years older than me. He looks really cocky in that picture. Let me see. With her attention now pulled away from the group of young boys, Alaqua leaned halfway over the couch and examined the picture. Well, you agree with me, don't you, sweetie? With a firm shake of her head, my sister crumpled up the paper and handed it to me with one swift movement. I popped into my mouth and started to chew it. That's disgusting, don't... But before she could say anything, I heard a loud crash from outside. Jumping up, I walked over to our back door. My mind was set on putting it into all of that noise going on out there. Swinging the door open while still chewing the paper, I looked around at my mother-trampled flower bed and broken flower pots. Narrowing my eyes, I saw muddy footprints and stained the stones leading up to our door and backed out towards the fields where the group of boys were roughhousing. Don't go out like that. Fix yourself up first. You look a hot mess. Do I really care? Do I really care? Do I really care? If they trample my mama's flower bed, I clearly don't care. Oh my god. Grab something around to wrap your hair up quick. There's no time for that. Just ignore her. How bad could I look? If I just woke up, I'm not sure. I think I look cute. There's no time for that. Just ignore her. Ignoring my sister's screeching, I made my way up to the group of boys. I could see the dirt in the trampled flower bed smeared on the cuffs of their pants. Hey, you guys, look who's coming this way. The boy who my sister was staring at intensely nudged some of his friends to get their attention. An amused look was on his face. Come to enjoy the view? Go clean up this mess you made in my mother's flower garden. While still chewing the paper, I nudged my head back toward the ruined flower bed. Glancing over at the flowers, then turning his gaze back at me, he wrinkled his nose in disgust. Maybe if your cuter sister came out here to ask us, we'd probably do that. But since it's you, his voice trailed off as he looked up at me and down at his friends laughing beside him. With one quick motion, I snatched him up by his hair, dragged him back to the flower bed. The urge to spit the wad of paper right against his face briefly crossed my mind, but I decided to act against it. Disgusting? Yes. Do I care? No, I'm a troll. I'll do whatever I feel like doing. Get your hands off me, you ugly mutt. Look at you trying to insult me in front of your snot-nosed friends. Good job, kid. You're a big boy now. I love her. I love her. I love her. I literally want to cosplay her. I love her. He continued to kick and thrash about while I dragged him along dragged him along effortlessly, my arm's length. What are you doing? Let me go. Once I finally made my way to the flower bed, I tossed him head first into the mud. His friends stood behind me speechless. Giving them a sidelong glare, they all tensed up and looked the other way. This will teach you not to mess with the troll's garden. Now I suggest you and your little gang start cleaning up this mess you made. I watched as he struggled to wipe the dirt from his eyes and mouth, all while throwing every insult his little immature mind could muster up at me. Glancing over, I saw my sister, who was now hunched over, hiding behind the window. Her face was flushed with embarrassment. I could see my mother sitting on the couch, shaking her head while rubbing her temples. A pang of guilt stabbed my chest. Do you know who you're messing with? Turning my attention back to the boy, I watched him as his friends finally scampered to his side to clean him up. I have special connections with the Unicorn Nation and the Golden Prince himself. So? I said flatly while crossing my arms over my chest and leaned against the doorpost. Biting my lip, I had to stop myself from laughing out loud when I saw a total of confusion plastered on his face. Kids these days. Don't you trolls know who the Golden Prince is? Does it look like I care? Turning my head, I finally spat out the wad of paper in my mouth. The kid reeled back in disgust, and I landed in a soft plop of dirt beside his feet. Picking some of the stray pieces of paper out of my teeth, I turned to gaze at him. Look, kid, stop stalling and just clean up this mess. I'll even go easy on you, and it will make you repaint everything. You must be out of your mind. I'm not cleaning up everything. You can't make me. Oh, really? With a smirk, I took a step towards them, and instinctively, they all took one step back. Even with his empty threat, they obviously knew how dangerous it was to mess with the troll. Though I wouldn't be so confident in the outcome if I was facing a full-grown unicorn right now. But lucky me, oh my god, I can't read. But lucky for me, I only had to scare these pups instead. Trolls are better for their brute strength, but unicorns have the upper hand with their weird powers and stamina. You better stay away from us if you know what's good for you. With a laugh, I shook my head and took another step towards them. I wasn't going to do anything too damaging to them. I just wanted to give them a little scare. Besides, I still had work that I needed to do at our small pastry stand. Kid, just clean up your mess and I'll back off. You can't make me. I bet you I can. Reaching out, I grabbed the boy's ear and gave it a pinch and a twist. Ouch, what the heck is wrong with you? I'll rip that stupid little ear right off if you don't get your butt over there and start. Just then, I heard a low whistle followed by the sound of clapping hands behind me. Well, now, isn't this entertaining? I suddenly felt strong hands grabbing hold of my wrist. Who is this man? Who are you? Grab it up on me. I can't even be mad. I can, but I can't. A scent of cinnamon and spice hit my nostrils as I looked up to see who it was that had the nerve to grab me. I don't know who you are, sir, but you... Anyway, with a gasp, I reeled back when I saw that I was standing face to face with the Prince of the Great. Or as some others would say, the Golden Prince of the land. His icy silver eyes bored into mine. His beautiful features were envied by all the trolls in my clan and adored by the entire female population. That's great. Don't smirk at me. Lost in train of thought, I saw an arrogant smile appear across his lips. The last thing I wanted to do was give him the satisfaction of knowing that I was swooning over him. Well, it's too late for me. I roughly snatched my wrist out of his hand and straightened up, trying to maintain my dignity. But before I could say anything, he suddenly let out a stiff laugh while eyeing me from head to toe. Sir, Can I help you with something, Your Highness? Look at his demeanor! Look at his demeanor! I hate him. I want to fight. If there's an option, I'm fighting him. I can't. Sure, since you're offering. First, don't call me Your Highness. Prince Dame will do just fine. I don't know if it's Damon or it might be Damon. Damon. I'm going to say Damon. I hope that's the right pronunciation of that name. I really hope it's the right pronunciation of that name because I really don't want to mess up any of these characters. Arrogant little. And secondly, with one smooth movement, he pulled a lock of my hair hanging by my ear and gently rubbed it between his fingers. You may want to do something about this bird's nest mess you call... My hair is fine. You don't need to be all up in it, but my hair is fine. My hair is completely fine. It doesn't need to be touched by you or anything else. Do not touch my hair. You might want to do something about the bird's nest of a mess you call hair before going out in public again. My mouth hung open in complete shock. A woman's hair was her glory, and something a trolls in my clan pride themselves on. Even if their skin was rough and the feathers and features somewhat unpleasant, they at least had hope in their beautiful hair. Slapping his hand away, I snarled down at the boy, who were now all covered behind the prince. If I catch you near my mother's flower garden again, I'll rip your toes off and shove them in your eye sockets. With one last narrow look at the prince, I shoved past him and tried to escape back inside. I'm curious about something though, but the nicknames that we are not gonna sit here and we're not doing the nicknames. We're not doing the nicknames because then no. Do I look like a buttercup? Get away from me. That's not my name and I'm done talking to you. So my words fell on deaf ears because he continued to talk as if I hadn't said anything at all. Seeing how the festival is near you, would you... Oh, okay, never mind. Seeing how the festival is near, would you mind that you wouldn't come out of the house looking so mangled? Now I'm fighting him. I'm sure your appearance alone has probably scared off any potential suitor that might pass this way. So you want to fight me? I stopped dead in my tracks and could feel anger rushing over like a wave. I heard his footsteps walking towards me and then abruptly stomping right beside me. The smell of cinnamon and spice floated towards my nose once again as I felt him lower his head towards my shoulder. You wouldn't happen to be participating in the festival this year, would you? Judging by your apparel, it looks like you've been on a pretty long losing streak. Boy, I'm about to fight him. He said in a low whisper. I'm so glad there's not voice acting. He said in a low whisper as he felt his breath brush against my cheek, and I felt his hand tug at another strand of my hair. How is me not finding a mate considered a losing streak? With my fist clenched at my side, I did something that will probably be the talk of the town for years. I punched him. We punched him! I punched the golden prince. I felt the strong impact of my fist hitting his right cheek. And watched as he fell to the ground, looked up at me, staggered without a second to lose. I hightailed it out of there before my mother and sister came running through the door. It would be better to hide out at the bakery instead of stay here and wait for unspeakable horrors to unfold. As I ran away, I could hear the screeching of my mother's voice in the distance. Mama, listen. Mama, listen. It wasn't. Mama. I couldn't believe that I had actually punched a unicorn prince. Of course, I've gotten into plenty of fights in my lifetime and unfortunately gotten a weird reputation because of that. But never have I ever got in a fight with a prince. I decided to spend the rest of the morning hiding out in the shop with a cloth tied around my head to hide my hair, just in case he had a bounty out for me or something. I didn't want to be easily recognized. Word got out quickly about the incident. I spent the rest of my day making pastries in the shop while waiting for things to die down. We punched the prince. We punched a prince. And I'm strangely okay with that. The rest of the morning passed by uneventfully, and I breathed out a sigh of relief if it wasn't finally getting close time to close. My mother had arrived just a few hours ago to rip me a new one about the action towards the prince. I could tell that she was still upset because of the way she was slamming each cabinet and door shut. I didn't feel bad about punching the prince, but what did make me feel sad was the fact that my mother was disappointed in me. Ever since Dad left us, oh my god, why can I not read? Ever since Dad left us when I was 3, she's always worked so hard to raise me and my sister all on her own. She'd had enough on her plate as it already was, and I hated being the cause of excess stress in her life. So, with a heavy sigh, I put down the broom that I was using cautiously and made my way over to her side. Mama. Her lips were pressed in a tight straight line as she kept her eyes forward and continued to arrange the pastries while moving on to slamming drawers shut. Mama, I'm sorry. Mama, I could tell you're mad, but can you at least look at me? I'm not mad. Aspirated, maybe. Gallied, indignant, irritated, picked, provoked, riled, sure, but mad? No, I'm not mad. Mom. With a whine, I rested my head on her shoulder and tried to give her the saddest puppy eyes that I could muster, but it failed horribly because looking cute and pathetic was not my forte, and all I got out of it was a good whack on the forehead. Answer me something. Why is it that you've been attending this festival for over 6 years now, and you've ended up alone every single time? With a sigh, I lifted my chin off her shoulder and took a step back. I really didn't feel like having this depressing talk all over again. I get it, each year I come back home alone. Don't you want to get married? I do, Mom, but what? It's not like you haven't had the chance to finally set it down. What happened with that last young man with the festival last year? That guy was a whiny little punk. I heard you kicked him in the junk and shoved his face into a hole of a willow tree trunk. I remember that. The guy couldn't take no for an answer and wanted to taste the grapes before buying the whole bag, if you know what I mean. He was a jerk and wouldn't shut his whining up, so I gave him something to whine about. I said while leaning back on the table, crossing my arms over my chest. He seems such a nice boy, Arcadia. That's not even her name. I don't know how to pronounce her name, and I don't want to put my name in it, but I can't like keep skipping his sentences. He seemed like such a nice boy, Allie. I just don't understand why. Mama, please. I don't want to settle just for anybody. When I do find someone, I want it to be what? I could feel my mother's eyes studying me while my words trailed off, and I lowered my head in embarrassment. I want it to be like those love stories in those fairy tale books she used to read us. A bitter laugh escaped my mother's lips as she turned away from me. All the pain and hurt she went through with my dad buried away any and all thoughts of true love and true happiness from my mother's heart. There's a reason why it's a story, Allie. True love like that doesn't exist. I could hear a twinge of hurt in her voice as she turned back towards me. Her brown, deep eyes become hardened as stone. You should never marry for love because love is weak and will leave over time. Then what should I marry for? Money. Dang, Mama. Mother always seemed like a realistic type of person, but to hear her say that made her seem cold. And since we're talking about this, I went ahead and signed you up to participate in the festival's meet and greet. Mama, did you not see that I just punched the prince? There ain't no way I am going. The what? Wiping her hand off her apron, I watched her pull up a neatly folded piece of paper from one of the pockets and hand it to me. First of all, you setting us all up for failure if you really want to sit up here and put me in this festival. I really don't understand why you did that, but I mean, I guess if that you shouldn't have done that, but I mean, okay. I really don't think my mama should have done that. Especially Mama. Some of the kings and queens from different nations thought that it would be a good idea to put this together. They thought this could help promote peace between the different nations and also help who might be a little shy to get a chance to find a possible suitor. I punched a prince. There is no helping me. Sighing, I read over the paper and saw many different activities that were planned to happen from the first day up until the last night of the festival. Mom, I'm a little too old to keep having you try to set me up with someone or to go weird gatherings like this. I really don't think you have any ground to be telling me that right now. You punched a unicorn, the prince, no doubt, for goodness sake. I'm amazed that poor boy didn't press charges against you, or have you executed on grounds of treason or something. Mom, you're overreacting. I'm not overreacting. You're being stupid if you want to keep that little trust I have in you. I suggest you get your behind over here to this meet and greet tonight and make a good impression. Feeling that I already lost this battle, I nodded weakly. Flashing me a satisfied smile, she patted my cheek and led me out to the shop. Your sister's already on standby to help fix you up. I looked over and saw she is so cute. She is so cute. I looked up and saw Alqua standing in front of me with a sheepish look on her face and a bundle of clothes and brush in her hand. Sorry about this, sis. With a heavy sigh, I frowned, then back home. As I laid limply on the bed, I tried to ignore the scalp throbbing in pain as my sister raked the comb through my knotted hair. Why is it that you have all this hair yet you never take care of it? I do. This is the style I'm going for. What a mess of bird's nests? What was that? Lifting my head off the bed, I narrowed my eyes at her. Oh, come on, you have to admit that was pretty interesting out there. I don't see anything interesting about it. He obviously doesn't understand the logic behind staying out of a troll's personal space. He did just walk up. He want to sit up here and be like, oh, well, you, like, whatever he said. I don't even care what he said. It's the simple fact that y'all were in my property and y'all were being rude to my mama's bird nest. But when I do something about it that y'all clearly couldn't do, I just find it funny. I find it hilarious, actually. I should have done it again. I'm glad there wasn't an option because I would have done it again. Yeah, I couldn't be in this. I could not have been in this. I am literally sitting up here. Can we talk about how fun he was, though? He was so cute. Can we? Anyway. I wouldn't mind if you little hot butt. I yelled while shoving her onto the bed. She was giggling uncontrollably, even though she hit the ground with a thud. All I want is to hurry up and get finished with this meet and greet so that I can go out and look for some more spices. Sitting up while resting her head on the edge of the bed, she looked up at me wide-eyed. You really are a hopeless romantic. What are you talking about? I just really want to try this new recipe out. With a knowing look, she raised one eyebrow and shook her head. I know why you were so upset about Mom giving that lady your pastries from before. I narrowed my eyes at her once again, studying her face while holding my arms across my chest. You don't know what you're talking about. Yes, I do. I read what you wrote in my diary. Why is she reading in my diary? With a yelp, I stood on my bed while pointing an accused finger down at her. You little how dare you! Throwing a pillow up at my face, I could hear her giggling all over again. Can you blame me? If you knew what your 24-year-old big sister still wrote in her diary faithfully every day, I bet you'd be curious to know what she was writing about too. I knew it was silly, and I thought that if I kept it a secret, but apparently I suck at being sneaky. Looks like I have to find a new lock and hiding place for my diary. Do you really think that way to a man's heart is through his stomach? It's one of the known really good things. So I want to say yes. Motioning me to sit back down, she went back to tying up my hair in somewhat decent side roll. I don't know. I guess I'm a little curious and want to test that theory out and see if maybe. My words trailed off again as I felt embarrassed just thinking of something so childish. Never mind, it's stupid. And love makes you do stupid things, so go ahead and tell me. Well, I kind of thought that I'd be that first... why can I not read? Oh my god. Well, I kind of thought that I'd first be able to win the guy's heart with my baking. And then after a little while, you would see if we are destined for each other. Holding my hand over my heart, I looked up at the stars outside my window. Then if we get married and have kids, I could read them my whole story because I would have written it down in my diary. It will be the best and loveliest love story of them all. And when they ask me if this story is true, I will say that it is. And they should never give up on finding their own fairy tale love story someday. Before I realized it, I was standing up on my bed, cradling my pillow in my arms, with both of my hands clasped together at the side of my cheek. My sister was looking up at me with an amused look on her face. Embarrassed that I let myself get carried away, I cleared my throat and lifted my chin while sitting down with my back to her. What are you doing wasting time? Are you going to finish or not? With a laugh, she wrapped her arms around me and gave me a tight hug. I'm so happy you're my sister, even though you act tough. You're all just mush on the inside. What do you mean acting? I am tough. Whatever you say, sis. But just know that I'm on your side. And if you need any help, just say the word. That's good to know. Even though Mom had already lost all hope in the thought of true love, I was grateful to at least have one person supporting me in my little dream. Even though I am not an image of beauty, nor do I have a lot of grace or elegance, that doesn't mean that I still don't have to be swept off my feet and experience a true love story of my own someday. Ooh, this is pretty. The art is so amazing. Also, she did this in the creator did this in 30 days. Yeah, I have to look it up again, but I think they said that they made this visual novel literally in 30 days. So shout out to them, because she did the art, she did all the other stuff, I believe, too. Imagine trying to get a visual novel done in 30 days. I literally cannot even imagine. With my wild hair finally under a little more control, I turned and looked back towards my mother and sister, who were shooing me towards the large gathering, laughing and talking amongst themselves. Oh, Mom, I really don't want to do this, but I guess I literally have no other choice, but okay. I still can't believe this was done in 30 days, but I mean, hey. Remember to smile, be pleasant, and for the love of God, try not to break any bones just for tonight. You can do it, sis. I'm ready for you. Mustering up a weary smile, I waved my hand and gave them a little nod. Here we go again. Letting out a steady smile, I made my way down towards the crowd. I did get a few glances here and there, but nothing more than that. Scouting out a spot, I took a seat next to an old tree and watched the others talk amongst themselves. As my eyes scanned the crowd, I saw trolls flirting with fairies teasing dragons, and some of the dragons laughing it up with the elves. It was then that I realized that this would be a perfect chance for me to get some quiet time, to sit down and write in my diary, and maybe to find new spices to make my mother an apology pastry. I had a feeling that she was going to be giving me the cold shoulder for a little while longer. I then felt a cold chill rush up my spine. Oh, no, please! As I caught a glimpse of a familiar figure. You can't be serious. Standing up to get a better view, my suspicions were confirmed. There in the middle of the crowd stood the Golden Prince. I watched in disgust as I saw him laying on the charms with every girl that crowded around. I'm so out of here. Grabbing up the hem of my skirt to make my escape easier, I hurried away into the lively crowd and walked deeper into the woods until I could find a quiet spot to sit and write. Oh, that is so beautiful! Oh my gosh. This was all done in 30 days. Jesus. I gazed up and saw the moonlight shining through the leaves of the trees. Sitting at the edge of the pond, I dipped my hands in the water and watched as the moon reflected ripple in each wave in the wind. I'll hide out here for a little while before going home. Splashing some water on my face, I sat back and pulled out my diary. I tucked it away in what my sister would call my bank de bustier, or something stupid like that. As I sat there, I let the calming sounds of the forest wash over me. The stress that had been building up slowly began to fade away as I was relaxed and wrote in my diary. I'll find my own Prince Charming someday. Girl, we are all hoping that. Other people might want money and jobs, but for me, I want love on top of all of that. The rustling sound of bushes, muffled voices, and laughter caused me to bolt right up and scan the area around me. I guess I wasn't the only one who decided to venture off from the party. This is such a cute visual novel. Like, it's really cute. As the voices grew louder, I started to gather up my things, but then a thought crossed my mind. Why am I the only one that has to hide and leave? You get up and leave, go ahead and stay and just ignore them. I'm mad because I feel like if I leave, I feel like I want to, okay, but why do I have to get up and leave? So I could get up and leave, or I can stay, go ahead and stay, just ignore them. Knowing me, if someone gonna make me mad, I'ma just leave. Because at this point, it's like, I could try. I could, do I wanna? I'm only doing this for my mother. I am only doing this for my mom. I don't know, what should I do? What should I pick? Okay. The only reason I'm thinking is like if I leave, I feel like, okay. But I want to stay. I mean, I don't know. That ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna just leave. With a sigh, dusted off my skirt and walked away from the area that now grew noisier with the loud chatter and obnoxious laughter. I made my way toward the fairy side of the enchanted forest to continue enjoying the peace and quiet. The sound of my sister's foot. No! Did I miss an activity? I felt like I missed an activity. I feel like I missed something. Oh my god. Hi, Macon. Oh, how my wife comes in and brightens my night. The sound of my sister's footsteps was heard thundering down the hall, followed by the sound of my bedroom door slamming open. You'll never guess what Mom just got. More money, a changed personality, a new husband. Rolling over with a groan, I wasn't. Michael, thank you for hosting my stream. Thank you. Rolling over with a groan, I wasn't in the best of moods this morning. Last night's incident had me left a little rattled and annoyed with myself for letting him get to me so worked up. Plopping down, I felt, we should have stayed. We should have stayed. Now I wish I could go back, but we should have stayed. I should have stayed. I don't know. No, I'm okay. I'm proud of the decision I made. I'm good with the decision I made. Wait, what is this? Day 2. Oh my god! I snarled up and shoved the paper out of my face, and I cocooned myself back into my blanket. Oh! Same spot! We should have went back! Oh, see, I wish I could have. I wish I. Oh, wait. Oh, can I go back? Oh, I want to go back. I want to go back and see. Oh. Okay, no. Big whoop. If she's not paying me, I could care less if she wants the whole entree. Oh, come on. You're not listening to me. Ripping the blanket back off, she leaned down while peeking back over her shoulder to make sure Mom wasn't around. If you do this, you get a free pass to the balls and can skip out on those drunken meet and greets Mom's been trying to send you to. They aren't that bad. I can handle my own. I really want to go back. Like, I feel like I missed something. I literally feel like I missed something. I feel like if I would have stayed, you know what? It's okay. I might make a video on my channel by the different, like, outlooks and things like that, or different like what's the different route options, I guess. Yeah. Would you want your fairy tale love story to start out with you finding your first love throwing up at the oak tree, or getting in some drunken fight, or Miss Ma'am, She leaned a little closer, slowly waving the paper in front of my face when I saw a small smile play on her lips. Or would you rather tell a story about how you met in the royal castle on the balcony, blanketed in the moonlight with the beautiful music, serenading you both as you waltz under the star-streaked sky? Motivated by curiosity of the possible outcome, I slowly took the paper in my hand and gave my sister a nod. Well, since you put it that way, you're such a hopeless romantic. No, I just know what I want. That's literally me. I swear I've said that exact sentence before. I swear I've said that exact sentence. Isn't it time for you to open the shop now? Oh, you're right. Jumping out of my bed, I headed to the bathroom to start getting ready for the full day of work that was ahead of me. Oh, I wish I could go back. I feel like I missed something. I literally feel like I missed something. Like, when, like, if you play, like, Otome games, and when, like, you skip out on an event or something, and then literally it's, like, it just skips to the next day. It wasn't abrupt. I just feel like I missed something, and that kind of upsets me. I can't go back. I should save before every decision. I literally should save before every decision. I'm just gonna do that from now on, because this right here, no. I should have. I'm so sad that I didn't save. Okay. I'm so sad I didn't save. Work went pretty well today. I was able to get a lot done and started sectioning out the desserts that I wanted to prepare for the queen. With my work all finished, I wonder where I should spend the rest of my day to write in my diary. The spot by the pond should be more quiet. Sitting by the fairy's oak tree might be nice. I don't know what to do. I don't know. Because I'm so bad. I feel like I missed something. I really feel like I missed something. Okay. What should I... Okay, hold up. What should I do, chat? What should I do, chat? I feel like I should do... Because I want, like... I'm so mad at myself that I really feel like I missed... I don't know. Okay. The spot by the pond should be a bit quieter. Sitting by the fairy oak trees might be nice. The fairy oak tree seems cool. I like fairies. I think fairies are nice. I feel no help whatsoever. Okay. Sitting by the pond. Sitting by the fairy oak tree. I'm gonna sit by the fairy oak tree because there's nothing that could go wrong. Carefully making my way back towards my new spot by the small oak tree, I sat down and began rustling through the bag that I usually kept my diary in to keep it safe. That's weird. I could have sworn. Turning the bag upside down, I split all the contents that was inside out. My diary is nowhere to be found, but I know. My heart began pounding in my chest as I tried to rack my brain to remember what I did last night. Every secret that I had was in that book. I couldn't stand the thought of someone else reading my private thoughts and dreams that I wrote inside. No. Shoving everything back into the bag, I quickly jumped up to my feet and tried to backtrace myself from yesterday. What are you doing? Whirling around, I saw the fairy boy from last night. Fairy boy? Did I miss something? With the stag who would look like right slugged over his shoulder, the bruise and the scars from yesterday was already healed up. If only trolls could hear it that fast as fairies. I'm looking for something. Oh, yes, 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 yes. Oh, baby boy. Oh, we are going for you. We are going for your route. I don't care what I have to do. I don't even know your name, but we are going for your route. We are going for your route. Y'all know that meme with the card, and it's like the And it's like the card. I'm doing that. I am doing that right now. What are you doing? Oh, what are you looking for? What are you doing? Oh yeah, what are you looking for? A book. Setting the bag of rice down, he stretched his arms out lazily and sat down at the foot of the tree. Oh really? What kind of book? Just a book. You two cute me asking me all these questions. It's just a book. His dark eyes studied me as he raised one eyebrow questioningly. Just a book? I am about to fight. Yes, it's just a book. Yes. Closing his eyes, he placed his hands behind his head and started humming softly. I guess he didn't really have anything else to say. Turning back around, I kept looking through the bushes and tall grass. I searched the same spot over and over again, hoping that I might have overlooked something, but I still didn't find anything. Oh! Oh! This man! Oh my god! Meet me at the altar. This man is so beautiful. What is your name? What is your name? Cause you just what if he was what I missed? What if he was what I missed last night? Yo, what if he was what I missed? I have a strong feeling that I missed him. What if that was me meeting him last night? I feel like me meeting him, what if that was what I was what if he was who I was supposed to see? I wish y'all could see my face. I am so upset. I'm so upset. I am so upset. Oh my god. Oh my god, you are so beautiful. No, because I'm really upset. Why does he look so beautiful? Why? You cute little chocolate bar self. You better quit playing with me. Have you tried looking over there yet? I can't. Why not? You're kind of in the way. I'm not in the way. You've got plenty of searching room. Come over here. Sir, why can't you just get up and move? Because why? Because I'm already sitting down. That is the most... I started to get a prickly feeling that he was teasing me, but I wasn't quite sure since since his relaxed expression hadn't changed at all. It was almost as if he was talking in his sleep. I'll just come back tomorrow and look for it. And why are we... Go back! Go back! Please! Just as I turned around, I heard a rustling noise. He wasn't seriously being that childish. It was moving now after I said I was leaving. Hey, Asia. I don't know how to pronounce her name, but she says over. Hey, Asia. I don't know. It's Asia. I don't know. It's Allie. Is this what you were looking for? I quickly turned around and I saw him standing with his arms, hiding something behind his back. What? Did you find it? That depends. What kind of book is it? I wouldn't want to give you someone else's book. I could feel I could feel my agitation rising as I stopped over towards him, stopping in front of him as I held out my hand. Let me see, and I'll tell you if it's the book that I'm looking for or not. What if it isn't? You try to steal someone else's book that got lost out here. Who else will lose a book out here? Careless princess. This made my decision so much better to who I want to play. Oh no. Who is? No. You are not. Did he just call me that? Did he call me that? No. Oh my god. I might marry him. Careless princess trolls that are crazy about fairy tales and love stories. You read my diary! My mouth dropped open in shock as a mischievous smile appeared across his face. Give me back my diary! Jumping forward, I tried to reach the book behind his back, but he turned to the side just before I could reach. Ah, so you're looking for your diary. Of course I am. I should already have known that seeing how you read it. I didn't know it was a diary. I thought it was some poorly written princess story. Are you going to give it back or not? I am, but first I want you to answer the question for me. What's my name? How should I know? Pulling my diary out from behind his back, he shrugged his shoulders. Well, then I guess you don't want this back. I reached for it, tried to snatch my diary out of hand, but he pulled it away and used the other hand to grab my wrist. Not so fast, you still haven't answered my question. Let go of... No. His dark, intense eyes bored into mine. He tugged my wrist, causing me to take a step closer towards him. His warm breath gently brushed my... I said let go. So... The mischievous smile. Oh my god, that mischievous smile spread across his face again. Then everything around me started to feel like it was slowly tilting. It felt like his deep, beautiful eyes were slowly pulling me in. If you don't let go by the count of 3... Seriously, okay. That's not my name, sir! You don't have to act like I'm some disease or something. Calm down. Letting my wrist drop, he pinched my cheek. Smacking his hand away, I swung my fist at his face, but he easily dodged it by using my diary! No! I'm not acting like you're a disease. I enjoy my space. With a chuckle, he handed my diary back to me. Just so you know, I didn't read your diary. Then how did you... I was guessing. I was expecting a troll like you to actually be until... I wasn't expecting a troll like you to be into all those girly stuff. Then again, after seeing how you acted today, I guess it's not that unbelievable. What's that supposed to mean? It means what it means. Walking away, he gave me a little wave while picking up the sack he said, You're rough, but there's also something else about you that I can't quite find the right word for. I wish y'all could see the tears in my eyes. This man. That's guys, I guess we found the route we're going on. I guess we found the route because that right there. Oh, okay. I'm so upset. I don't even know what to do. Looking down at my... glancing back at him, he walked towards his home. I bent down and picked up one of the fallen acorns and flung it at his head. Ouch! I know you're rough, but you really need to find a better way to get people's attention. What's your name? My voice was barely above a whisper as I avoided making eye contact with him. Huh? Your name, what is it? After a long pause, I glanced over at him to see if he was still there. It's Edvin. He's so... I'm so upset. Because... Oh, I'm so upset. Okay. It's Edvin. Thanks, Evine. Cute. Don't... I hate how easily I can be swooned. I hate it. No problem. That's not my name. Giving me another small smile, he shook his head and continued walking back home. I couldn't stop the smile that was slowly creeping on my face, even though all we did was sort of argue. It was kind of fun. After finishing up some of the chores and baking some desserts for tonight's meet and greet, I decided to explore a little outside. Searching around the cottage where my window was at, I tried looking for any kind of clue that could possibly tell me who my secret letter Secret letter? Nothing. Secret letter! Within a look, I brushed my dress off since dirt had gotten on it. While I was tiptoeing through my mother's garden, which was strangely back to normal again. Mom works fast. pulling some plums off the plum tree behind the house. I walked back up to the front. I was debating on whether I wanted to go to the meet and greet or skip off somewhere and find something fun to do. After the short back and forth that I had with Edvin, I was feeling kind of hyper. I don't usually get a lot of chances to goof around with some others my age, and even when I did most of the time, I ended up making someone cry. The sound of my mother and sister's voice snapped me from my train of thought. Sis, where are you? The meet and greet is in a few minutes. Taking one last bite of the plum, I tossed the pit in away and ducked down behind the bushes. Allie! Right as they made the way towards me in the view in front of the bush, I jumped out towards them and my arms raised high, let out a little shout. Boo! Have you lost your mind? Oh no! Oh, I'm so sorry. Putting my arms down, I saw the cake that I had baked smashed all over the troll from last night. I'm sorry, I didn't know. Now look what you've done. Why'd you do that? I was trying to play a joke and act like you got some sense. It's reasons like this that makes you such a hard time to find a mate. I stood there quietly and extremely embarrassed. I didn't know they were carrying my cake. Neither did I know that Aaron was with them. Are you okay, Aaron? I didn't mean. I obviously missed something last night because this makes no sense. Oh my god. It's okay. I just like a warning next time you try to make a joke. Giving me a weak smile, he whipped some of the icing off his shirt. My mother and sister helped usher him into the house to clean up. Allie, I think you should go ahead and leave now. We can talk about this later. Shutting the door behind her, they left me outside all alone. The night carried on like any other, and today I was even able to catch the attention of a few other trolls. They had all left to go and talk to someone prettier or smaller than me. Since not much else has happened, I decided to use my free time to go sneak off and search for some new spices. After gathering some interesting new spices, I decided to call it a night and head home. Mom still hadn't said much to me since yesterday. I didn't get much sleep either. After I got up and got changed, I decided to try and stay on her good side. It's day 3. Why am I not? It was pretty busy today. By the end of the day, both my sister and I were totally sapped. We dragged ourselves back home for a much-needed nap. I didn't have much luck grabbing anyone's attention, and seemed to be putting my mother on edge. She refused to let me go another year alone. Allie, I've had enough of this. You obviously are having a hard time making up your mind and finding someone to settle on, so I'm going to make that decision for you. My mother came storming into my room. My sister was following quietly behind her and apologetic on her face. I want you to meet someone who I think would be a fit for you. It's a pleasure to meet you. Peering up from my diary, I reeled back in horror to see one of the ugliest trolls I have ever seen in my life. His eyes were glazed over with such a lust and his gaze trailed over my body. Mom, you can't seriously think. I've had enough waiting, and we don't have time for you to just be going around your day as if you have nothing better to do. Grabbing his arm, she pulled him closer towards me. I covered my nose as a disgusting stench grew stronger. Was my mother blind, deaf, and crazy? Mother! I've said my part. He is the richest in our clan, so you two had better start getting along. I'm sure we get along just fine. We'll see about that. What are you doing? You better not hit him with that. I don't want you, so get lost. Ugh. Bad it. I got the bad ending? I got the bad ending. Guys, there's literally only 3. There's 2 good endings and 1 bad ending. How did I get the bad ending when there's 1? Oh my god. I really got the bad ending. Oh my I'm so stupid. Oh no. Okay, no, I have to. Okay, no. No, 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 no. No, no. No, we're doing this again. We're doing this again. No, no, we're doing this again. I can't believe. No. No. I literally got the bad ending. No. No. I got the. Okay, grab something, rub my hair, because I picked the other one. I really got the bad ending. Letting out a heavy sigh, I looked around for something to tie my hair up quick. I saw a thick vine laying and remains of my mother's pansy. Quickly picking it up, I marched my way towards the boys. Hey, what's that troll doing? I stood shocked as they glanced down at my hand. It was holding onto a broken vine. Did they think I was going to beat them with a vine? She's got a switch, run! I'm about to beat you with... I just want you to come over here and clean up your... She's lying. The troll is going to beat us. Keep running. I could feel my anger rise as I continued that way. All I wanted to do was tell them to fix up the mess they made. I wasn't planning on hurting them with anything. Now, though, that started to sound like a good idea. Look, I'm not going to hurt you. Just run for your lives. Fed up, I raised the vine high in the air, giving it a shake. I might as well give them something to run away from, so letting out a silly little battle cry, I chased them down the enchanted forest. The sound of my mother's horrified voice was drowned out by my yelling. I knew that I must have looked crazy, but something was acting a little crazy. It could be more fun. What on earth is wrong with you, girl? Mama, calm down. The voices faded away as I ran through the cluster of trees into the forest. I finally given up on the little game of cat and mouse and decided to let them go because I was starting to feel tired from the chase. It was starting to get a little annoying how scared everyone acted around me, but it wasn't much I could doubt about that. I was tougher than a lot of the other female trolls in my clan. I need to take a break. I swear, this is different. This is different. This is different. Different is good. I surveyed my surroundings and realized that I had somehow made it to a fairy territory. The sounds of joyous laughter, along with happy chattering, greeted my ears as I walked around admiring the beautiful sight. Whenever I was really in a bad mood, I would always come to this side of the forest to recharge a bit. It always felt so pleasant here. I sat down at the foot of a large chestnut tree, pulled my diary out of the oversized pocket of my dress, and started to jot down little things that had popped into my mind as I basked in the beautiful ambience of the forest. You ungrateful child. The sweet ambience was quickly shattered by the sound of a deep booming voice. I jumped with a start, knocking all of my belongings to the ground in the process. My eyes darted around to find the source of the voice. I'm not being ungrateful, you're being unreasonable. The sound of another voice, not as deep as the first, but still deep enough around my age, followed shortly behind. I looked to see two-story cottage built inside of the frame of a large oak tree. Taking a few steps forward, I peered up to see a window opening and heard the sound of multiple people yelling and hollering. Why are you two always fighting? Son, please, just listen to your father. No, why do I always have to be the one to shut up and listen? Everything I say is either irrational or irrelevant to you. You're always shutting me down. Don't you raise your voice at your mother. I'm not raising my voice at her. The sound of a door slamming shut, a gasp, and more muffled yelling were heard before everything reverted back to silence. Taking another step forward, I couldn't contain my curiosity anymore. I wanted to see just who had been arguing with his father so vehemently. A young man who looked to be my age was pacing back and forth in his room, shaking his head as he was trying to calm himself down, but then turned and looked to a small messenger bird perched that hung outside his window. I could see his expression sadden. Was he feeling down about not having any letters sent to him? Whatever. Knocking the perch down, it landed on the branch just underneath the window. Regretting his previous action, he let an annoyed sigh and reached out to restore the perch to its original place. Our eyes locked as he noticed me watching from below. Neither of us said anything. No wave, no nod. We just stared. The sound of deep booming voices interrupted a staring contest as he snapped his attention back towards the door. With another heavy sigh, he shook his head and leaned on the window ledge and looked back down at me. He motioned to me and pointed to his ears. A slight smile decorated his face. I stood there a little baffled with an eyebrow raised. Was he trying to tell me to cover my ears? Tilting his head slightly to the side, he placed his hand over his ears, the small smile never leaving his face, slowly raising my hands to my ears as I did as he suggested. And as an instant, his once warm and innocent face flipped to something dark and ferocious as he turned back around to continue on with the argument with a much older-looking fairy male who had threw open his bedroom door. I guess that was his father who was yelling earlier. But even though I had my ears covered, I could still hear the muffled sounds of their argument and another thud of a door being slammed. Well, the morning has certainly started as a weird note. I went ahead and made my way back home to deal with the argument that I had a certain angry mother of mine had prepared for me. But by the time I got home, my mother was already starting to give me the silent treatment. I decided to go ahead and spend some time down at our bakery to give Mom some space and let her cool off for a bit. The rest of the morning passed uneventfully as I breathed out a heavy sigh that was finally, okay, so this is different, okay. At the moment, my mother arrived at the shop, giving me the cold shoulder. Okay, we've seen this. We carried it. Oh, even though she hated, oh no. Oh wait, even though she hated to admit it, the things that people would say or whisper about her family really got to her, even though she never let on to that and carried herself with dignity and pride. In the morning, I, the eldest daughter, didn't really help her image much when I was chasing a group of kids while waving my arms in the air like a crazy woman. I really didn't think of that through. Ever since Dad left when I was 3. Okay, we read that. She had enough on her plate. Okay, yeah. Mama. Her lips are pressed. Okay, this is the same. Okay. Mama, I can tell you're mad. Okay. I think this is the same. You want to get married? I do. Okay, this is the same. Okay. Marry for love, whatever, marry, money. Okay, so I'm still mad that I got the bad ending on myself. I don't know. It's really done. Comb my hair. Okay, so this is combing my hair. Okay, we're doing the same thing. Oh wait, did I? Oh no! Fine, whatever. Such in my nose. You really? What are you talking about? I want to try a new recipe. Okay, because she read my diary. Okay, she read my diary. I still can't believe. Okay. Are you finished or not? Okay, we finished. Okay, after this, let's get to know. Okay. So last time I left, nothing happened. So, okay. Excuse me, it's a spot take. Huh? No, I was just about to leave, so I stood there dusting on my skirt, getting ready to leave. Wait. I meant, are you okay if I accompany you? Confused, I looked at to see a source of the timid-sounding voice. I didn't mean any disrespect. What is that? I didn't mean any disrespect. It just looked like you were lonely, and his world trailed off as I continued to quietly stare at him, debating whether I should brush him off or... Oh, you thought I looked lonely? Yeah. If you're not, then I apologize. I'm terrible at making good first impressions. Rubbing the back of his neck, he looked painfully awkward. I couldn't help but smile at his weak attempt to start a conversation. You're allowed to stand wherever you want. I won't stop you. Flashing me a side smile, he meekly stood next to me. We both stood there, quietly facing the crowd. I'd never been much of a conversationalist, but I felt comfortable in our silence. But out of the corner of my eye, I seemed to forget. I watched as he stared at the ground with his eyebrows wrinkled. One moment, his mouth would open, and then he might have said something to say. Then he closed and shook his head. I couldn't stop myself from smiling at his horrible attempts at making small talk. I could have given him a break and helped him by starting the conversation, but it was kind of fun watching him get flustered like that. I'm horrible! Finally, after what seemed like 10 minutes, he glanced over at me, and I saw his cheeks turn to a slight shade of red, then he realized I was watching him. Finally figured out what you were going to say? Sorry, I usually don't act like this. It's fine. It's your first time at a meet and greet. No, I've come to this thing before. I think it's like my 3rd time. How many times you come? 6. No, I might be wrong. 6? Narrowing my eyes and raising a brow at him in warning, I turned my attention back to the crowd. Yeah, apparently my bad attitude scares suitors away. You don't seem like a bad attitude to me. That's because you haven't been around me long enough. Would it be okay if I could be around you a little longer? I turned my gaze back to him with my eyebrows raised yet again. Don't get fresh with me. Who talks that way to someone they just met? I meant you no harm. I was just trying to ask if it would be okay if I could talk to you again sometime, or if we happen to see each other at next meet and greet. I just wanted to see if it was okay. With a small laugh, I shook my head and looked back towards the crowd. You sure are awkward for a troll. So I've heard. If you want to come up and talk to me again, that's fine. In that moment, I noticed a familiar figure in the distance. Craning my neck to get a better look, I could see a group of tough-looking elves and trolls that circle around a familiar-looking fairy. Excuse me, is everything okay? Huh? I forgot I was in the middle of a sentence just a few seconds ago. I didn't know what it was, but something about the fairy looked strangely familiar. Excuse me, I need to check on something. Give him a brief nod and a wave. I slowly make my way through the crowd to get a better look at what was going on. I could finally make out the appearance of a fairy in the middle. It was a guy from this morning, but that friendly look he had in his eyes earlier was anywhere but on his face, as he wore a dark and intense expression. I watched as an elf girl came up and sat down in his lap and swung her arms around his neck. He didn't seem to be fazed at all by the tension around him or the girl. He gently pulled the girl's arms off his neck and pushed her off his lap in one smooth motion. She didn't seem to appreciate that very much. The clamor of the crowd drowned in the voices, but I thought I could hear her yelling at him while he sat back lazily, paying her no mind while eating his plate of food. Slowly looked up at his gaze, locked with mine. Not knowing what I should have done or said, I let my natural instinct take over and motioned towards the girl with a smirk and rolled my eyes. His eyes flickered in amusement, and the corners of his mouth twitched slightly upward. The girl must have finally taken notice that he wasn't looking at her, because she whirled around, her eyes darting about in an attempt to see just who he was paying his attention to. Her gaze finally landed on me. I could tell she was looking for an excuse to start something, so I stood there with my arms crossed as she stumped up towards me. I could use a good fight to blow off some steam. What are you? Girl, you got the wrong one. I'm telling you this right now, sweetheart. I don't care. You got the wrong one, baby. What are you looking at, troll? I'm looking at the mess your neck threw up. My neck didn't throw up? Oops, you're right. That's just your face. Granted, that's a petty insult, but it was still one of my favorites to use to poke back at someone that's trying to start something. Really mature, you ugly. Just then the fairy boy stood up and shoved his way past the small group surrounding him. When he passed me, I thought I heard him whisper something in my ear. Thank you. She was getting annoying. I turned to watch him leave, and I saw people quickly backing away from him, clearing his path. Something about the way he left made him seem kind of lonely. The small group that had gathered around him shortly drifted away. The she-elf was marching towards me. I could already tell she was about to get ready to do, as she made no attempt to step to the side to put some distance between our shoulders. When she got closer, I saw her roll her eyes while looking away. Her shoulders moved slightly as if she was getting ready to ram me with it, but I took a step forward, looking her dead in her eyes. Push me aside with that shoulder of yours and I'll break your collarbone in two. Then let's see how well you'll be able to throw your shoulders around. I watched her face went pale as she hurriedly disappeared into the crowd. I shook my hands loose as I realized that I had them balled up subconsciously, ready to fight. Maybe this was a reason why my mother seemed to be having such a hard time with me. I get stirred up way too easily. Grabbing the hem of my skirt, I made my escape early. I hurried away from the lively crowd and walked deeper into the woods until I could find a quiet spot to sit and write. Okay, still so many. Okay, so this is where I think I made like a choice to leave, but then it looks like I'm on Edvin's route. It looks like I'm on his route, which I'm okay with, but I gazed up and I saw the moonlight shining through the leaves of the trees. Sitting at the edge of the pond, I dipped my hand into the water and watched the moon's reflection ripple in each wave of the wind. I'll hide out here for a little while before going home. As I sat there, I let the calming sounds of the forest wash over me. I'll find my own Prince Charming someday. Other people might want money and jobs, but for me, I want love on top of that. The rustling sound. Oh, wait! No! Oh, wait! Oh! Save. We're saving before I make any decision. The rustling sound of the bushes, muffled voices, and laughter caused me to bolt upright and scan the area around me. I guess I wasn't the only one who decided to venture off from the party. As the voices grew louder, I started to gather up my things, but then a thought crossed my mind. Why am I the one that has to hide and leave? Last time I left, nothing happened. We're staying, because I'm not doing this again. Just go ahead and stay, just ignore them. Letting my things drop to the ground, I sat back down and went back to writing my diary. With a stressful day like today, I didn't see the reason why I shouldn't give up my moment of peace and quiet just because a group of people were passing by. She must have had a pretty exciting... No! No! Go back! Go back! Do you want to load the... well, let's say... Yes. Okay. Okay. Get up and leave. Let's see what happened. With a sigh, I dusted off my skirt and walked towards the area that grew noisier and with a loud chatter of obnoxious laughter. I made my way towards the fairy side of the enchanted forest and continued enjoying the peace and quiet. But once again, my peace and quiet didn't last very long. The familiar sounds of arguing voices ran through the night. Looking up towards the tree where Fairy Boy's house was, I saw the faint glow of a light shining through the window. What happened to your face? Oh my god! I could hear the shrill voice of a woman this time, as another was trying to calm her down. Mom, stop, it's fine. Dear, come look at her son's face. What's going on? What happened to your face? The sound of the young man letting out a sigh could faintly be heard, though the man and the woman's hysterically loud questioning. Dear, he must have been fighting again. How many times have I told you to stop fighting? That's right, sweetie, be a nice boy. If you guys let me explain. No, this is not up for discussion. Then I'm out of here. I saw a faint silhouette moving past the light as the family continued to argue. Good then. I don't need a disrespectful son like him anyway. And I don't need a meathead of an old man like you either. What? Dear, stop him! I heard the father's voice muffled out by a slammed door. Looking up towards the fairy boy's window, I saw him climb out and spread his wings and glide down gently. Once he touched the ground, he stood there quietly for a moment, letting his hands ruffle his hair while letting out another sigh. Then, as if sensing my presence, he turned his gaze to me. Yes! Ah! Yes, 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 yes. This is what I was here to do. Yes. Aren't you that troll from earlier? Yeah. I was trying to find a quiet place to relax, so I came here, but... He glanced towards his home, then back at me, a knowing look in his eyes. I guess your home must be just as noisy as mine as you're in the woods this late at night. Not really. Instead of silhouettes matching, I get the silent treatment from my mother until she's able to get over whatever she'd been mad about. Lucky you. The clouds slowly drifted away as the moon shined down on us. The cool glow of the moon made it easier for me to see what had happened to his face. His lower lip had a small cut and was swollen and red, while a nasty look bruised as he started to form around his cheekbone. I can find some medicine, herbs to help with the pain. I don't know how to use those. Then what do you usually do to treat your wounds? My mom usually handles that. I can apply it for you if you want. He stood there for a moment, not saying anything. I could feel his eyes studying me. You know, in order for you to apply that, we have to be really close to my face. Yeah, that's what usually happens. Only a few short steps, he moved in front of me and squatted down with his face only inches from mine. I hate him. Are you sure certain things can happen when a girl and a guy stand as close together like, stop it! Stop it! If there's one thing I hated, it was having my personal space invaded. Narrowing my eyes at him, I felt my voice come out in a low growl. I wasn't planning on being this close. If you don't want my help, then just say it. I don't like being teased. A hint of amusement lit up his intense eyes, taking a few steps back as he held out his hand. You know, there's a reason why guys tease girls, right? Yeah, I know why they do it. He raised a brow as his eyes bored into mine even more than they already were. Or really, mind telling me what that reason is? They do it to piss us off and get a kick to the face for acting like idiots. That... Miss Ma'am. He's trying to flirt with us. Miss Ma'am. His brows wrinkled in confusion, and I was quickly replaced with an entertained look as he shook his head and started to laugh. Man, I don't think I ever met a troll as violent and clueless as you. You don't really seem to have a clear grasp on concept of flirting, do you? I know what flirting is. I scrunched up my nose at him, a little annoyed by his question. Really? Do tell. Knitting my brow. I hate him. Knitting my brows together even more, I looked up at the sky as I was attempting to recall some of the things that I'd read or what my little sister had told me about flirting. Although it was true that I didn't have much experience with it, and all that different flirting techniques was too confusing for me to understand, I didn't want Fairy Boy to know that. We already made it known. We're literally no help. Well, first, when you flirt, you have to bag your eyes a lot and try to make them look really big or something. He leaned against a tree and crossed his arms as his smile grew at my expense. Wait, so why do they bat their eyes? While shaking my head in confusion, I waved my hand in the air. I don't know, I think they're trying to show off their eyelashes, or maybe trying to show how fast they can blink. I don't know why they do it, they just do it, and that's how you flirt. By blinking your eyes really fast. Yes. I could tell that he seen right through me, letting out another laugh. He did as he said that took me by surprise. You got a name, troll? I'm just gonna say Allie. I don't know how to pronounce her name, and it makes me really sad. Allie. Well, accurate. That's not my name! I said it was Allie. Alright, I'll see ya. Narrowing my eyes, I started to get a feeling that he was saying my name wrong on purpose. Even though you're kind of crazy. He reached down and gave my cheeks a tight pin. Stop! My eyes widened in disbelief and shock. You little... There's still something about you that's kind of cute. All of the words that I'd prepared to assault him with flew right out of my mind as he smirked down at me. Opening his wings, he began to hover above the ground. It was nice talking to you, troll girl, but I have some business to take care of. My name is Asadia. I don't know how's her name! I'm literally getting flustered! Later, I'll see you. With a soft chuckle, he threw up into the night sky and disappeared from sight. I wasn't sure what made we encounter, but I guess the night could have ended much on a worse note. I'm so upset. We really sat here. Oh my god, I hate him. Oh, I hate him. I hate him. But I love him. Oh my god, I'm not. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. You know what? I am going to just, yeah. I'm gonna stop here for right now. I'm gonna stop here for now. And but okay. Again, I wanted to give a shout out to S. Morishita, and this is called A Troll's Fairy Tale. She made this game in literally 30 days. She did the art herself. She also has a webtoon called Catch Me, Fight Me, Love Me. I'm really flustered because that man had no reason being that fine, but it's okay. So I'm going to, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to end